housing market in Farmville, North Carolina.
Guys, let's hit it. Hi, it's Alan Victoria. Welcome to our Tailing Podcast.
And if this is your first time in our podcast YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and get notified.
Also, call text all the time at 252-327-3357. We love talking to you. Do not be shy. Read that number in there. And we can't wait to talk to you. Don't forget to get our buyer's guide and seller's guide.
Now, we wanted to deep dive into demand and supply and give you some insight and a statistic about what you as a home buyer should pay attention to, and what about the home sellers too, no?
Absolutely. So we're going to give you our insight into this data after we give you the data.
Can we start from inventory?
I thought we were. No, I was going to go start with statistics.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with base general statistics, then we will hop into inventory. But for statistics, the median sales price is...
The median sales price in Farmville, North Carolina was $293,000 in June.
I said list price. Sales price. Now he gave you the sales price, that $293,000. The median list price, which is what people asked for when they put it on the market, was $337,400.
Exactly.
So you can see that those are different. Don't forget, sales are ones that are already sold, and list prices are ones that are just beginning. And where you can compare that to last month, and then last year. Last month was $311,650 for that sales price, and the list price was $344,000. So you can see there was a downward trend of the list price from over month, and a downward slide for that sale as well. Whereas compared to last year, we see increases. Last year we saw for the list price was $224,750, and sales price was $146,000. So we have seen tremendous growth in Farmville if you look at it in the longer range of a year.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to deep dive into the average of days on the market, which for many of you, for the home buyers and home sellers, is important. For home sellers, is important because you know how much long does it take for your house to sell. For home buyers, there's a breeze room that you don't want it to make a decision right away. With saying that, average days on the market from a house under $100,000 to $1 million was 35 days in May and 36 days in April. Therefore, it got a little bit shorter, but last year this number was just 3 days and was super short. Therefore, with respect to the last year, really we have 1,066% difference, and it got more.
But if you look at it from last month, there was only actually a downward trend of 2%. So we've actually gotten a little hotter compared to last month. Now let's talk about more statistics, okay? Active listings in Farmville is pretty low. Do you want
to say absorption rate too?
We're not on absorption rate, are we? No, okay, go ahead. Absorption rate, go ahead.
Exactly. Absorption rate also is one of the indicators that tells you what is the inventory is. And also, it dictates that it's the seller's market or is the buyer's market. This is also one of the metrics that everybody is looking at. And in Farmville, in May 2023, we were 221, and in April was 216. And that means that the market got a little bit hotter, and last year at this point was 0.81.
So it's colder compared to last year, but I mean...
Hotter than last year. But it's colder, hotter in both ways.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about more statistics. Now, I wanted to give you how many active listings. These are homes that are actually for sale. Pending, when I say pending, that means how many homes are under contract to be bought. Because don't forget, it takes about 30 days in North Carolina to actually buy a home. And then we're going to give you the how many have sold recently, so recent sales data of the last month. And then we're going to explain when we get to the thing why all of these numbers matter. So for active listings right now, if you want to move to Farmville, there are 16. Exactly. If there are, looking at how much you're under contract, there are 7. And if you're looking at how many just sold, there are 10. Want to compare that to last month and last year?
The last year, basically, it was 6
active.
For the active, which was in inventory, and the pending, which is under the contract, was 7, and the sold houses was just 5. Therefore, if you're looking at the statistic, basically, the year-over-year change from last year, the sold house was 100% increase. But under the basically inventory, which is active and pending, we basically has 166% we had the increase.
Okay, and then what about last year, just to compare it to last month?
The last month, the sold was just 6, and this month was 10. Therefore, we definitely increased 66%. And under the contract, we went 7 now and 9 last month, which means less house sold. And the number of the house that came to the market as an active listing was equal. Both were 16 houses.
Okay, now let's talk about that inventory that you wanted to jump right into right away. So for all new homes, let's talk about data. How much supply is there? There is 1.3 months of supply right now for all homes. But let's break that down a little further. What about those new homes?
The new construction actually is the forte or the inventory. It means we have 4.1 months of inventory in May 2023, which last year this time was just 0.7.
So there's lots of new construction happening in Farmville. Whereas if we look at that pre-owned homes or homes that people already own, this is down to 0.4. Last year was 0.8, so it has actually decreased in how many people are actually selling their homes.
But overall, you're looking at it, last year, all of the inventory was 0.8 months, and this year, 1.3 months. Still, we are away from the buyer's market because we need at least to have 6 months of the inventory to get that, but we got improvement.
Okay, now let's talk about price per square foot. This is the down and dirty method to say how much is my home worth if you live in Farmville. Again, these are down and dirty. It does not take into account of what your home status is, how the upgrades you have in there, is it new, how old it is.
Exactly.
What of your anything about the actual homes. This is just a dirty number just to give it to you. Now, all homes in Farmville this month are $137 a square foot, which is a pretty significant number.
When we say all, means all type of homes, including condo, townhouse, and single-family homes.
Right. Now, all new construction in Farmville, which is really all single-family homes, but this means all homes, including condos and townhomes, that's $138 a square foot. Now, if we go to just single-family homes, we are talking about $134 a square foot. And if you're talking about new construction of single-family homes, that is $138. So, I mean, there are differences here as well. So now I told you we were going to break down some numbers in a different way for you, right? So let's talk about that. Now, what does absorption mean compared to last year? You want to deep dive into that?
Therefore,
I know you love
these
absorption.
words is basically for home buyers,
right.
No? Because as a home buyers, you wanted to know what's going on in the market. Absorption has significantly actually increased, which dictates that we are in the seller's market or buyer's market, and is completely related to inventory that we have. And we have 172.84% increase with respect to the last year. That means that there are higher demand for the homes in Farmville, and home buyers should be prepared to act quick.
Now, when we look at the median list price, this has experienced a over 50% increase from last year. This shows that there is a rising and potential rising market, higher prices in homes, and home buyers should carefully consider their budget, prepare for those price negotiations. Exactly. Because it's just happening.
What about median? Basically, sales price.
Okay, so along with that sales price, that comes along with where the list price comes from, or the sale. Because at the end of the day, the sale price went up by almost 100%, 99.45% compared to last year.
Exactly.
This means that there is an upward trend in what prices are. This affects the purchasing power, affordability. Really, we need to do our deep dive into the market data, and working with us to understand what those price changes are really going to help you.
And average days on the market, we said it increased at 1,066% compared to last year. And this says that the house is staying on the market longer with respect to that, and home buyers should be patient and do their diligence for the property search and everything that is important to them.
Now, with home sellers, we have some deep dive for you as well. So what does that absorption mean for sellers?
Sellers, if we have a higher absorption rate, means we are more in the seller's market, And also means we have less inventory basically that is available to the home buyers. That means it's a better market for the home sellers, really.
Now, agreed. Now, with list price, this is the most important thing when we meet with sellers, right? They're like, how much can you sell my house for? And of course, we want to get you the biggest dollar amount out there. Now, with that 50% price increase in list price, we are expecting higher prices and higher sales volume. However, it is super crucial to actually listen to real estate agents like us on what the price should be to price it competitively, so you are getting the buyers to come bid up, because buyers do not like to bid up down. They only like to bid up. So you have to make sure that your price is at the right point for them to actually do those bid increases.
And also at the end, the average days on the market got longer, means you as a seller, also you need to consider the market is hot, but also you might expect that your house takes longer to sell. No?
Well, I mean, you went to the days on the market.
Yes, days
right.
on
So
the
what
market.
I was talking about median sales price, because that went up by almost 100%, 99.45. So again, that pricing strategy and successfully staging your home are super, super important for you in order to make sure that you are coming out on top and making those dollars. Now, anything else you want to say?
Therefore, at the end, really, we wanted to say pay attention to the inventory. As we said, the inventory increased 62.5%. And also, as my wife said, across the board, we give you a dirty way of calculating how much your house is going to value if you're home buyers. And do you want to add anything else? Okay,
so the market conditions right now are going to be there for you to sell your home at a profit for you, as long as you didn't just buy it last month. So be super patient when we're talking about when we meet. You're going to make your money and then some, as long as you're working with the right real estate agents, and we are going to happily talk to you about all of this.
Exactly. Don't forget to subscribe in our YouTube channel and podcast. And don't forget to contact us, Alan Victoria, 252-327-3357.